Hi everyone. My name is Jerry Wise, and this video I'd like to talk about narcissistic parents and inappropriate ways they made you responsible for their needs. I've been working with adult children of narcissists and dysfunctional families for many decades now. I have helped thousands of people to help them to get their family of origin out of them. Let me talk about the parent, the narcissistic parent. The narcissistic parent, though self-focused, self-absorbed, maybe I should say self-absorbed rather than self-focused. Self-focused is more of a healthy thing. Self-absorbed is the narcissistic thing. Low empathy, it's all about me. It's all about protecting me so I don't feel shame. It's all about feeling superior and wanting to control and dealing with moodiness and all kinds of other things that go along with the parent who suffers with narcissism. And that in doing so, they don't possess self-soothing. They don't know how to self-soothe. They will use other people to make them feel better. That's different than them making them feel better. And so they will use their environment to make them feel better. Just like everybody in their environment is a pawn. And they use that to play the game of chess, life chess, and move pieces around so that they will feel okay. They lack a healthy self. Well, if you lack a healthy self, then somebody else is going to have to be responsible for myself. If I can't soothe myself, somebody else is going to have to soothe me. They will send out flying monkeys. They will make you the flying monkey so that will also, you're being responsible for them because they're triangulating you into their problems with other people in the family. And we will become that flying monkey to help make them feel better and have a better sense of self, even though it's a false sense of self. They will have monological conversations. In other words, they're only one way, and we will indulge. And as children, we had to indulge them. As adults, we may fall into indulging them on a monological conversation, which is a one-way conversation. You've had those with different relatives and different parents where they talk and you listen. And that's what's expected. It's not supposed to be a dialogue of mutual people who in mutuality are discussing something with one another. It's a monologue or monological conversation. You're the observer. You're to shake your head and go, okay, yeah, you're right. And they have those kinds of conversations. We indulge them in those so that they will feel better because they can't handle a mutual relationship. They will, because they have their own dependency needs that have never been met, they will then want other people to meet them for them. And they will borrow self from us, and did as children and as adults as well, so that they will have a self. And they will bounce off of everyone trying to achieve some type of self. Intergenerational trauma comes in for the narcissistic parent. There could have been abuse, all kinds of tragic things happened to them when they were growing up. And that they also experience very low insight. They don't get it. They do not get what a healthy relationship and a healthy sense of self is. That they don't understand that. They believe they've already achieved that and gone beyond that, when really they've never even come up to the starting line yet, sadly. And so in these kinds of ways, this forced us or pressured us or pushed us to be made responsible for their needs. When we are trained to be responsible for the needs of others, and I think particularly dependency needs. When I say dependency needs, I mean those needs that should be taken care of by me. If I have a dependency need, that's not something that should be taken care of by you. That should be taken care of by me. It would be like me going, okay, I want you to brush my teeth every morning. That's me borrowing self from you, because that's a need I need to be doing for myself. If I have you brush my teeth, then I don't have to deal with that. And I make you responsible every morning for brushing my teeth. Then when I go to the dentist and I find I have a cavity, who am I going to blame? You, because you've been brushing my teeth. And so they don't take responsibility for themselves, and they make everyone else take responsibility. And in fact, would probably tell the dentist, well, if my crazy son, my crazy daughter would just learn how to floss and brush my teeth better, I wouldn't be here having a cavity, Dr. Jones. It would be that kind of craziness that would be going on. So what can we do if that's been the case? Being programmed to be responsible for their needs will program you to ignore your own needs and to often not discover them at all. So that's one thing we need to be aware of. I'm not used to taking care of my needs because I was trained and taught to take care of everybody else's. And so that's where my work lies. That's where my healing and recovery lies. Being programmed to meet their needs and for their needs taught us to be other-focused, not self-focused. And I mean healthy self-focused, unhealthy other-focused. Meaning, I didn't know how I felt, what I thought, what I needed, because you must be focused on the other person and always dancing with them in their dance. And then you don't learn your own and what you want, what you desire, what's healthy for you, what are good boundaries for you. We don't learn that. We're very other focused. We even will learn to ask why questions that are very other focused. You know, why does my narcissistic brother or sister keep giving me a hard time every time they call me, etc., etc.? That's an other focused question. We have learned to focus in an other focused way versus, wait a minute, when my brother or sister who are narcissistic, let's say, call me, what do I do? How do I feel? What do I need to change for me? That's self-focused rather than other-focused. Those are two different questionings. If you want to learn more about that type of questioning, I have an online program I would strongly recommend. Take a look at it. It's listed down below. Family Differentiation and Your New Road to Self. I do have a lot of exercises, tools, and also offer live coaching once a month in a group setting. If you want to learn more about how to practice that. Being programmed for their needs will make you feel guilty, shame, anxiety, awkward when you decide to focus on your own needs. So when we focus on our own needs after years of doing that in a narcissistic family, and we focus on our own needs, doesn't it feel strange? It feels awkward. We have anxiety about it. We may even go, I don't even know what my needs are. I have no idea. I want to remind you, there's only one person who can know that, and that's you. The bad news is you may not have any idea. The good news is you can learn to have an idea. You can learn to find out what are your needs and what boundaries do you need, what inner boundaries do you need, what wants and desires you have. But it can feel very awkward if we've been so focused on the needs of others or the narcissistic parent. When we are responsible for other people's needs, we tend to overfunction, we become parentified, we even become partnerfied, where we almost either become a partner or their parent, or at least overfunctioning in many ways. And again, that becomes that other focus versus self-focused. And I think another good question that would be good to ask and think about, what would be the downsides if you start being responsible for your own needs? What would be the downsides of that? And one of the things I would suggest for people, though there's some good books out there and lots of good advice, there's plenty of recovery information about needs and wants. But I really think in many ways it starts with a when question, not a how question. People will ask me, well, how do I find out what my needs are? And I usually realize that often very early, I know they want to know how to do it, but they have not given themselves permission to do it, which is the when question. And so they'll just struggle in trying to find out what their needs are. Well, the first thing we have to decide is that I am ready to find out what my needs are. And it tends to be more of a when question than a how question. I hope you will subscribe today, comment, like the video. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day and be wise.